Stan keeps getting longer.
Jesus, I forgot about the army guy.
That's what it's all about. Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's there dying for little baby Ido? If I saw his body is empty, he's finished with that pack of wolves.
Did they call him back? Is he relevant too?
Yeah, because it's his stake.
Exploited by the police, we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice, a worthless, withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence. Be that as it may, Correcta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, why? Didn't finish that line. Yes, that's it. The very exact one that is. Very splendiferous hoary treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day.
It can't be!
As I thought. Young man, there's no need to feel down, I say. Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where is my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere.
Find your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? My throat.
Young man.
Clearly, it could have fallen there by accident. Which means somebody must have hid it there on purpose.
Somebody once told me, conceal my hoary treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Oh, do such a thing! Such an unconscionable thing!
Excuse me, could I say something?
No! Yes, of course. Anyone but that guy. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant or to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected.
That's where you're sending undercover, is it?
Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely as Copon is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there's a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems.
I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who's stolen hid Korikota-san's koban is all too clear.
What?
What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is the despicable scoundrel that stole Korikota-san's koban and hid it under the stake?
Yeah.
That's what.
Yes, I know so.
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Iesanosa.
Oh, the baby's face.
Yeah, it's pretty good face.
The fuck that?
What? How? How dare you? You monster!
Monster?
I stole that cobalt, did I? I'm the master thief at La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet?
No, the baby.
But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido was the mastermind behind all this.
I'm sorry.
I see.
I'm gonna put the baby in jail.
What push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? I don't think babies are all that innocent. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. A bubble. Now we find out that the baby's like ratatouilleing him.
What the fuck?
Nepal Imperial Army, Sergeant Ida Sanosa. Preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir. God.
I'd like to cross-examine the baby.
Wah, wah, baby pharaoh wants milk.
Many of you know of the extraordinarily low wages of the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe.
I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place. I've heard it's hard for low-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes.
All I want is put a hot meal on the table for my son.
I don't think babies can eat coins. That's why he was stealing things at the restaurant.
Place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I'd go there and do reconnaissance for a target. I enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time.
It's like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable.
And your target that day was the old man in his koban? Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all.
A veritable phantom thief you are.
I was all set to leave the steak as I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Bang.
It's when the professor was shot.
I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the steak. Hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date.
Rendezvous with the steak.
Hang on.
Eclipses.
Sorry, I had to catch and kill a daddy long legs. That was
Okay.
Oh.
around my room.
And at legs.
Now you've made mommy big feet sad.
Wouldn't it be mommy
It's
short arms?
ridiculous.
This is
don't know.
ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time?
Well, Miss Brett,
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course! How rude of us! I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, your excellency?
Indeed. The theft of the Koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder.
Okay.
Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me.
Nonsense, is it?
Well, oof.
And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining you.
No.
Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, your excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day.
Rinosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming.
Something to do with the knife and fork, I think. They put way too much.
No, it's just...
They put way too much focus on that. That's gotta be relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. Like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up.
I mean, is it just...
Because if you...
I mean...
No,
the fork
look
seems
at the steak. Look at the steak.
I
Look
mean-
at how it was eaten.
Okay, so this
It
is
was
the...
not.
It's very obvious bite marks.
See, I
How,
thought...
how would you do that with a knife and fork?
Yeah, well, see, I thought we had already proved this was Nosa's steak. Because the coin was
Well, we have. Well, yeah.
No,
but,
see,
but
he
we need
ran
to
over to
further-
the other table to hide
Clearly.
the coin.
there. You know.
Yeah, I think we. Yeah,
Also,
I think,
all of this is contingent on, fucking Hosonaga messing up and bringing the wrong plate, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
if that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard.
Sorry.
You can think later, but if you don't call it now, it'll be too late. Trial will be over.
Wait! Miss Brett!
What is it now?
I'm afraid for my life. Just one last time. Something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this?
Well, your parting words are. What parting words are you talking about, Rinosuke?
Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. What did she say? What load of
Right.
rubbish?
Pure madness.
Pure madness.
Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. Miss Brett's words truly are contradictory. Where is the evidence to prove it?
No.
The steak.
Oh?
Oh, it could be seen there too.
Yeah. Yeah, because the steak is different.
Is it? It kind of looks the same. It looks pretty much. It looks the same.
One looks bigger.
Honestly, it looks the
And-
same to me. You can see the knife has been used. The fork, maybe. That one's a little more questionable. But this one looks like bite marks, actually. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's because it looks like she ate with her hands here too. But then, like, why did she do that? I don't know, but it's a contradiction, so sure.
A photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred.
Oh.
What's interesting is the
What's
plate of the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. Steak that Miss Brett had been eaten before the professor was killed. Yes, go on, Queen. More accurately, Your Excellency. Steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs!
Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural?
Okay, so what? She swapped the plates, and
Yeah.
and Hosonaga took this one and labeled it as like this is the one that was on their table.
Yes, I think
Okay,
that's
so
what
Hosonaga didn't mess
that's
anything up in the
deliberate
first
say.
place. This is deliberate. Okay. Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
Eating meat. No. It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Take a good look at this steak, in particular the edge where it's been eaten.
And she's gonna be like, okay, well, I did use my hands here for some reason. And then we're gonna be like, no, because the knife has the stain on it.
That sounds like the chain of events.
As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there.
Ah!
Oh,
She fucking exclaimed in English. Good. It looks like Miss Brez realized something.
so if the witness actually claims wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork.
You know what? That just reminds me of her screaming in English. There reminds me of when I think it was Metroid Fusion came out. Josh was talking to somebody that was like, you know, the game's pretty good, but like, why did they make her sound American in this one? And he was like, what are you talking about? She doesn't have any voice acting. And they're like, yeah, when she dies, she lets out a scream, and it sounds American. He was like, what are you talking about? It's a scream! Anyway.
I mean, technically she's been voiced by Jennifer Hale.
Yeah. Anyway.
Witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and fork. There shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was... What was it? Devilishly hungry? Ravenously hungry and couldn't help... Shut up! Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Ministry of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, this will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Shut up! I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course, dear lady!
Good simp.
Matter, Miss Brett. Have it ruffled your feathers?
Clearly the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implication these teeth marks in the steak have for her.
Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
You know what's beautiful about this is we're catching her on this because she made this disparaging remark about how the Japanese eat. She's getting done in by her racism.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
Doing a racism is like stealing. Yes, now at last it'll all come together. As will we. Mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Why your wife left you?
Everything?
Tomorrow's lotto numbers? Yes. I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here are conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up! Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
Can you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been... What?
Just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd! The trial has run several hours already! And you say there's evidence yet to be brought forward? There can't be! I don't believe you have it!
Don't you mean that can't be? I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. If that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair? The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga.
But,
That cut off, that's fine.
but,
Yes.
you You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
No, I'm not saying that. Roy's intention is to be focused on the steak with the teeth marks because I directed them to it.
He ate it.
Earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nossa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak. As well as admitting to stealing Korikta-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the steak.
You watch it, cadet! I'm a superior officer!
Sergeant Nossa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak?
Sean? Affirmative, of course! I might be a soldier of the Imperial Nippon Army, but still! I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentleman if she'd mind me manhandling her meal and to hide something in it!
Manhandling her meat.
Shut up. Shut up!
Steak that detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nossa's meal.
But that makes no sense! That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
That's called moving plates, asshole.
The gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of a steak, nor did you have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over.
Sergeant, no.
You did switch the plates? What? Oh, okay.
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian be murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. What? As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hit the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my side of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet beer was arrested and taken out to the kitchen, I seized my chance.
I guess that makes sense. She wouldn't really have a reason to swap
Yeah,
the steaks.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There is no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you, so yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable!
God. However, fear not, Prosecutor Son.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform. But that's all I did, sir.
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant! Yes.
Oh, if Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga.
Yes.
Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both.
Ah!
That's correct.
Then please present it to the court now. Sorry.
Oh.
The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up! What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat. It can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection! Oh, that was you.
Objection! No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon?
Surely you're not that forgetful. Clearly remember the reason why this steak pan promises us, sir, proved such a problem for you, no?
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense has to see the plate was the first something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. The side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson. There's a clear spattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest.
I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have evidence to prove it. The plate you're eating from, Miss Brett.
Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. The beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident.
Yes, sir.
Looks so satisfied.
Here we go. Sorry for keeping you.
No, there's some blood.
Here's the other steak and its plate. Please feel free to examine it. Okay. Oh, gee, I wonder.
A blood stain. It's clearly visible, look! So that wasn't me.
Whatever.
This makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment the victim was shot, facing the table with his back to me.
In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim.
Ah! It can't be!
In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Kurikuta-san. It's Giselle Brett. It's you!
Breakdown time, let's go.
Expecting a dead swan.
Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No!
Oh, I get the symbol.
What symbolism? I'm not doing this whole screen.
Okay.
What's the symbolism, Steak?
Because swans are seen like these beautiful creatures, but in actuality they're vicious.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it is.
Oh. Okay.
No, they're just chicks everywhere.
I hope the chicks stay. The rest of the game. They get a little bigger every case.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behaviour for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett. I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time. Your swan song, if you will.
Shut up. Gladly, Your Excellency.
Good pun, damn it.
It was I who took the Professor's life using Curair. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The Professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you plan to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison will be found in his water. Because Cura is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the Professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would be all over. I'd place the steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the Professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter. But the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment.
And to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man.
I happened to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. Under
Every
your...
person gonna have a pistol.
Typo, literally unplayable. Under your skirt?
Read it as it's written.
I'm not doing that.
So I was right. There were 2 guns.
That's why I always carry 2 guns.
Watson.
Yes.
Then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. This way you were sure that I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up,
It's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point he was already dead.
naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared.
Obviously, I assumed Naruto-san was the culprit that apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside.
That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around.
Yes, of course. You needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from where he picked up the gun.
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
Well, I'll be on my way now.
Hold that thought.
Ta-ta.
Your Excellency,
Yes.
I wonder... might I speak with you in private later?
I shall call on you.
Thank you. Good day then, everyone.
It be one of those conjugal visits you have in the West.
I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san.
Still don't get to see her eyes.
Peace.
Nope, she doesn't have any on her model.
Oh,
Wonderful.
creepy.
Yeah, no, if you extract her model, there's just no eyes there, it's just the shadow.
It would seem.
Also,
That's... yeah?
I was trying to find out what the pun is of her name, and I accidentally got spoilers.
I mean, it's kind of minus... Oh, okay, no, never mind. I just realized, you probably did get some pretty big ones. There's other stuff that this connects into in the wider story, but, yeah, I won't go
Just
into
trying to
that.
forget it.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you guys, like, now, the pun is, that so obviously Wilson is Watson, right? Like, they changed his name for this.
Yeah.
And in the Sherlock Holmes stories, Watson at one point, was shot with a bullet from a gun known as a Jezzail, so it was a Jezzail bullet, and, you know, in Japanese it's Jezeiru Buretto, and the Buretto was changed into Brett to sound more like a name.
Okay.
It's clever.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you read that?
It would seem. This trial has finally run its course. Thank fucking God. Presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be! Taketsuchi Ouchi does not lose! Not to the likes of this rookie student!
You better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ah! Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten!
You become conceited with age, Council. The old have to stand aside and make way for the new.
Oh, Streamline.
It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
And off comes his hair, yep.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to happen.
Or his
Good.
top now, I guess.
Yeah, stop now. 1,000 millennium have passed, and still the Aochi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan.
This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case. I thank you, Your Excellency. Use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world.
Thanks, Matthew Perry.
The Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it will look like I cannot begin to imagine. Maybe at one point there will be a dark age of law.
For the country. Stop having it be closed.
Yes.
That is for the young to pursue. Zuma Asugi. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget, fulfill the mission imposed upon you.
Oh wait, that's me. I understand, Your Excellency.
What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden?
Ah, never mind.
As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency.
I want at least one game where the pains are based.
No. It's supposed to be comically bad.
Yeah, I know.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty.
Oh, it's cherry blossoms. Sad.
Nothing wrong with
I
cherry
don't know
blossoms.
when confetti was invented.
Alright, let me Google it.
You somehow get more spoilers. This court is now adjourned.
But yeah, anyway, leave all that stuff to me because I've kind of got mild spoilers for all the game for both of the games across anyway. So just leave looking that stuff up to me.
Confetti, as we know it today, was invented by Italian businessman Enrico Manley in 1895.
So confetti was recently invented when this came out, I think. When this trial happened. Anyway.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. Made it! I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial.
Ryunosuke. Finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma.
No, it was a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University. Don't forget that. Don't forget!
Come on.
Good afternoon. Well, your hard work has certainly paid off. Congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything.
Thank you so much. If we hadn't had a recent report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out.
Your kind words should really be for my
That's what I
father.
was-
I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Yes, of course.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Speaking of Mikotoba... there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo. You did an excellent job. Thank you,
Oops.
Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh, yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yuma University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right.
Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson?
Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you work together?
I've never heard you mention that before.
Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asugi. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot.
I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan.
You're not taking that sword to Great Britain, are you?
Damn straight I am. Of course I am. As a Japanese man's katana is a soul. This blade shows me where I need to go.
And it deals 1d20 damage and crits on a 18 through 20.
15 through 20.
Oh, okay.
It cuts
I'm
on
assuming-
anything that's in my way.
I'm assuming that's a D&D thing.
It's a
No.
It's a D&D copy pasta.
Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes.
Look up
Can
katanas
even
on the
cut
Paladin
hair.
D20. Anyway.
Okay.
It reminds me, what's happening to the woman?
He was executed for speaking out of turn. Oh,
Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder.
yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Zailbrett will not appear in the court again in this country. I'm certain of that. What? But why not?
Matter of consular jurisdiction.
Inspector Hosonaga.
It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today. Very impressive to watch. I must congratulate.
But what's all this about consular jurisdiction?
We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? Can't try her? Then who? Who's going to bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where her voices can't be heard.
Why a consular court? I don't know what that is.
Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the friendship treaty.
Yes, in normal circumstances, you're right.
Then, so long as it is not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments, they can't invoke a consular court just like that.
Oh, aren't they?
Yes, she's a student, but Doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about our fate, does it? Something strange is going on.
So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. Afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. I can't believe it.
British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously.
But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves.
Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it.
Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. Professor, I'm still a baby.
You're right, there's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest La Carnival? Said waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink.
Dude,
Do you come with a...
you don't need to work there anymore.
You're a detective, Hosonaga-san, aren't you?
Let's not worry about details for now. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor?
Of course. La Carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Azuma.
Yes, Ryunosuke?
Just wanted to say thanks again, that's all. You really saved my skin today.
I didn't do a thing! You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work.
Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world.
I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. Couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me.
What? Come on, be serious.
I helped you today. It was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it. For being a defense lawyer, I mean.
Oh, no. Not me. All that tense verbal combat. I never want to go through that again. Ever again. Just... I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you.
That's the point.
That's the point, Dad. What if he...
What if we did?
Sorry, what do you mean that's the point?
Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win?
A smile.
Proof.
Knowledge of the law.
No. The ability to believe.
To believe? To believe what?
A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times.
You believed in me when I said I didn't do it.
I'm human just like you. I don't have some supreme ability to know the truth. They have to make a choice about what to believe in and what to stick to it when you're defending someone. And sometimes in the courtroom, you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you chose to believe in, that even then, Well, that's not something that anyone can do. It's a special kind of person.
Believing in your client.
Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped believing in me.
Well, maybe I stopped believing you a little.
You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me.
Thanks, Kazuma.
That's something I want to ask you, actually. Ryunosuke.
Yes, I'll marry you. I mean, what?
Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me.
Sounds serious. What is...
Oh, you're still here, are you?
Bloody steaks are getting cold. Oh, Inspector Hosonaga.
I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go.
The fuck is a rickshaw?
You don't know what a rickshaw is?
Is it like a wagon or something?
It's a cart pulled by a dude, basically.
Okay.
Old taxi.
What's a scrimshaw?
Basically, yeah.
It's an airport.
Huh?
I don't know.
Steak said something there.
What's an airport?
Oh. Anyway.
Thank you. We'll be right there. Damn it. He ruined the moment. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory.
Your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget.
Ah, yes, that too.
Place which
Boy.
I, with my accent, have never been. Till my very first trial came to an end.
Well, this takes place in old times. Everyone spoke British back then.
That is
Exactly.
true. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susato-san, who acted as my assistant. Did she? Inspector Hosonaga. Didn't really play much of a part, but still.
I like the way he fucking reacted to it.
It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. That old guy, though. More importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life.
Well, I
It's a
mean,
blowjob I
we're
would
the
never
main
forget.
character, so I assume I know what the favor is gonna be.
Yeah, achievement, yeah.
Yeah!
Alright. What a long fucking trial.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
next time, I guess we'll be starting episode 2, The Adventure of the Unbreakable Speckled Band. Whatever the fuck that means.
Don't you mean episode 2, The Adventure Home?
Yes. Alright, see ya then.